my point here is more on the fact that there's knobs and levers that they could turn. They just chose to turn all the wrong ones. There's a lot of ways that they could have impacted how goats, should have died out, but they did everything wrong. That eventually, when goats did die, it got replaced by the polar opposite side of the spectrum of what was good or bad.
Yeah, but okay. So the one thing about goats specifically, and this is the thing about goats, is everyone, including the casters, knew the problem was Brigitte.
Mm-hmm.
It was incredibly obvious, and they just refused to nerf her because she was the newest character. That is what that was.
But that is something that you see ubiquitous a lot of the time in bigger competitive scenes. The League of Legends creative team, essentially say Worlds Past we bias towards certain characters because some characters are more fun to see played at a higher level, or get the crowd more or so. That's why, for example, more kind of like playmaking mages like Ahri, Azir, whatever, always pop up around during Worlds meta, for example, and it's not just because, the pros always played them during the Worlds times because they're the best. No, it's because, ostensibly, the Balance team has made it clear that one of their intents is, we want these characters to always be a staple, since they can always coexist with the highest level of skill displayed in the game.
I will also say real quick, I do not want a high-paced fast changes. I do feel, however, that if a character has a 90% pick ban rate, that is a problem.
Mm-hmm. It might be a problem. You don't actually know yet. You can guess, you can reasonably theorize, you can hypothesize. That is an accurate thing you can do, right? But you can't prove it yet, right? Because it might just be, there might be some character that happens to behave, if you pay it the exact right way, that character that's 9% bin rate, it's not a problem anymore. You don't know! No one's tried it yet! The game's still brand fucking new! Right?
Yeah.
Now, to that end, I want to play off of that. It's like the fact is we've had I'll give a meta development, for example, on this end here, going back to the pit bans argument. Yeah, on the DPS side of things, Hella Hawkeye we've talked about because they are the one-shot heroes or so. A lot of the tier lists, and this is more just more fun facts fitting more than anything, but the tier lists put the solar flyers, so Iron Man or Storm and whatever, ostensibly low for the fact of their own class designation being flyers. They can't coexist in what is hitstand character in world with hitstand characters that can absolutely one-shot them out or so. Holt, for example, as well on the tank side, he didn't offer as much holistically as well, but with the bans that went on in the most recent invite tournament, with Hawkeye Hella always out all the time or so, it brought one composition of just all of the Holt team-ups, Holt, Strange, and Iron Man, just for the fact that since all of the hit scan was out of the way, or rather one hit, I should rather quantify it as Hawkeye, but you know what I mean, it brought a different light to where Iron Man gets to exist, and he actually can deal with Mantis and Luna Snow, because he has one of the few ults that can just one-shot through their rapid healing. So, it's that weird rock, paper, scissors to where they ostensibly Hella and Hawkeye would be at the top of the food chain, but it can rock, paper, scissors out, but until people feel what is the best bans, or rather what should be, it's not exactly the most polarizing thing to say, no, this is the best character because they always pit banned or so. There's a bigger spectrum, but people are still figuring that out, and it only just developed this one tournament.
Yeah. I think that one tournament is not what we just don't have the data. I agree with the devs, they need to wait. Yeah.
Give me that ass.
Now, what they actually need to focus on is their fucking optimization issues.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it's a NetEase game, so that's never gonna happen.
I don't care because I don't give a shit what the fuck their, weird meta is if I can't play the goddamn game.
Yep. I just want to shoot the shit from my friends, dude, but I can't do that. It's so bad.
What?
You good?
God damn it. I can't get in because it keeps dashing away when I try to...
Yeah, no, I feel that. I feel that very deeply.
Understandable.
But yeah, no, in a lot of ways, my issues with Marvel Rivals are, fundamental, right? In terms of, I think, the movement speed issue has not been fixed yet. The loading and optimization issues haven't been fixed yet, and then the healing numbers are still fucked, right? Until those get touched, I don't want to touch the game, like, and not for lack of interest, mind you. It's just like I recognize I will have a bad time. The game is designed around having a 6v6. 5v6s are not fun. It turns out. Who could have imagined?
Yeah, I think they need to make everyone move faster, though. That does need to happen.
Yeah. I just love this. I love this button so much. I can't help it. I can't help it.
Which one? Your special? Oh.
My Sapphire Spear Thrust. It's my favorite. Like, I can't. Like, I'm addicted.
What does that one do?
Weed.
Oh.
5 hits. I'm addicted.
I like Sapphire Dagger Throw because it just means I don't have to press it anymore. It just
Yes,
happens every time.
any type of cooldown that just automates a button, so I have to think one less for any of my rotations, is just always nice.
Yeah, well, it's like I wanted to use my invis.
Okay, I'm teleporting to the right. Okay, so
Yep.
should be fine.
Oh, I didn't get my.
You're good. Like, you know, like, even, like, you know, all the talk about balance and everything like that, or so, fact is, like, people are still, like, a lot of people's impressions can make or break on that first week or so, and especially so far for the 3 and I side, we can't play the game, so we can talk all about it if we want, but we just can't play.
Yep. So like like that's kind of the other thing too. Like it's very possible that there is solutions that someone's not seeing, but it's being seen by someone who can't play, right? It's very possible that like there are techniques that we don't know about, hacks that we don't know, right? That just people haven't found them yet, and so like it makes me really reluctant to say anything about the balance apart from like the really obvious stuff in terms of like general play feel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
because like
at least for
not being able to
now,
play,
it's
that
just
feels
scrub
terrible.
quotes.
2, 3.
Then again, it's not like the worst. I'm sorry, there's still a lot of time to see how bad of a balancing fiasco it could be, because there's been very much so worse balancing in many other games. I drifted towards you because I pressed up right instead of down right. My bad.
That's the first weekend when they buffed Rasmus. The first time his freaking ult went down below 40 seconds. I'm like, wait, what?
I feel
Rasmus, the wizard, is here.
I feel like the world of balancing is so funny and so weird with how obtuse some solutions are, or how, like, you know, the devs have a vision of the game that absolutely does not change, and it absolutely just Brits things so badly for the player base when it comes to it. Because at least for me, like, I'm speaking from League as my knowledgeable action point here on it, but there is a lot of stuff that's happened in League history that has absolutely baffled minds above for...
Oh yeah, the Juggernaut update.
Have they not? Yep. Juggernaut update, ADCs right now in the current meta, for instance. You build crit, and you still don't do crap. Because they destroyed all the other items, so the only thing you can do is build IE, which cost a fortune. And they've said, so, yeah, we want this to be a huge power spike, but you can't do anything with it right now. Because everybody builds their items before you can, and then you're not an ADC, you're just an AD.
Hey, remember Gangplank?
What side of Gameplank are we talking about? Are we talking about him when he absolutely one-shot you, or are you talking about when he got one-shot and was disabled for an entire week and a half?
You mean when he died? No. You remember how Gangplank has been forced to build crit, and now he's worse because he has to build ADC crit items because there's no crit booster items anymore?
Yep.
You remember that?
It's so
Man,
funny.
we have this bruiser who needs to build crit. Let's get rid of literally every single crit item for bruisers.
Yep, it's that, or like the current state of Jin to that end. You do nothing, you tickle, and then you just blow somebody up for no reason, and then you go back to tickling.
The fact that the collector exists.
Oh.
Just build an item that invalidates. Everyone has 10% less health.
Yep.
Or 5%.
Yeah, I couldn't really do too much there.
That was on me. I dashed the wrong way.
All good, all good.
Purple's first. I'm so glad those are color coded, by the way.
What do you mean? I'm colorblind. I'm not. I'm colorblind, but minus the color. What?
Dork.
Somebody's gotta move and it's not us.
Oh, it is.
5d3.
It's fine.
Well, you erased the projectile, so you know what? Never punished.
Yep.
Never
Just,
punished.
just defender things.
I love how I
Defender
also offered no help at all in that situation. Somebody's gonna move, but I don't offer who it is besides it's just not me, dude. I don't know.
Yeah, I got colorblind a little bit. I was like, huh, where's everyone else standing? I was like, wait, where am I? I was literally like, wait, where am I in here? Like, I couldn't see myself.
I am realizing I have the thing that it reapplies. It has a chance to reset my special every time I apply a debuff.
Oh boy.
Horizontal. Okay.
Horizontal.
Yep. We're gonna drift together over here
Right,
to the
yep.
middle. There you go.
Wham, we did it. I'm so proud of us.
Compared to our run with Crimson the other night.
Oh my god.
To where we
Easy
all
self-trolls.
drifted towards opposite ends.
You
I come to you.
Come together. Alright, there we go.
Yes, the Bukake song.
Okay, let's
The what?
not.
Come
Oh.
together.
Let's not
Over me.
say this. Let's not say this.
Okay.
That's not what it's
Let's talk about infinitely more fun stuff, like going back to the lead conversation. Not.
Yeah, God, League of Legends. The best thing League of Legends ever did was make Riot Forge, and that doesn't even exist anymore.
I mean, what's your opinion on the cultural impact of Arcane then? In that case.
Lame.
While I like this show, it shouldn't have been made fucking canon.
Fair enough.
So,
'Cause,
like, it ruins Jinx's character. I'm sorry. I said it.
It changes her character.
It ruined it.
Well, that's the thing. It
it-
changed it to be fundamentally different from what gamers have known her for 8 years now.
Yeah,
It's also
So that's different.
I like that they gave her a backstory. I thought that was neat. But the more I looked into it, the more I was like, okay, well, how does that tie? Oh, this doesn't tie in. Okay, this is a shift. Okay, is the shift more interesting than what she was before? Okay, well, it's not worse. like, that's the kindest thing I can say. I think that it's not worse per se, but it's not better either, right? But now it kind of paints her in a very strange and very, very different light,
It
right?
takes away a lot of her agency.
Yeah. Agency. I don't know if the agency is the word I would use, but I definitely agree that, like, do I have enough money for both? Damn it!
Should have just saved, Smile.
Should have just saved Smile.
May I give my opinion real quick about Arcane?
Go for it.
I don't like the fact that they basically removed Mel from Jace's story arc when their relationship was one of the most interesting parts of season 1.
I do think that season 2 is significantly worse than season
Oh,
1.
it is. It's
I don't-
substantially worse.
I don't know that it's the same as being bad, but I do know that it is very distinctly worse.
It should have been two separate. The best part of season 2 was the Echo stuff.
Yeah. Now, what I will give credit to Arcane for, I think it's a perfectly fine show. I think, like, as a show, like, without any stand-ins, it's actually fantastic, I think.
It's a great show if you take it separate from everything else. If you ignore the fact that it is related to League of Legends.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm asking for your opinions, because the fact is, like, there is two, you know, byproduct viewing audiences from it all.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm upset that one of my favorite characters in the League lore just doesn't exist anymore.
And that is
Renata.
I thought Arcane's like a snapshot piece, because then you can say a lot. For example, like, you can say Renata doesn't exist, but then, you know, like, there's a lot more on that end. Zeri just came out too, or even then, Blitzcrank in lore as well has connections to to both Jace and Victor, and he's just kind of not there.
No, Blitzcrank doesn't exist anymore. Blitzcrank has been rendered non-canon.
He's not there. He's there in Legends of Runeterra as literally as part of the Champion's Path for Jace, and then he's just not there. So I feel like that's like one bad faith, in my opinion.
LOR
it's one bad faith argument.
Because it's the wrong Victor.
Could come to it, but the fact is, there's a lot more characters that you can still associate with Piltover and Zon. You can say Renata doesn't exist, but essentially one of the older characters, for example, Ezreal, doesn't exist around, even though he's coded more for Piltover Zon. In that sense.
You can argue he does because the reason why the saying is Renata doesn't exist is Renata is the Chem Baron.
But once again, there's still way more characters to still give around or so. And the fact is, I thought it was a snapshot in time towards like Renata's influence just wasn't around. But you know, once again, pulling hairs at what is a snapshot of a show.
Bottom right.
The other kind of weird thing that not a lot of people think about is, so canonically, and Bess is dead.
Yes.
Like, canonically, she's just dead now. I do like the design change they did for LeBlanc. I really want LeBlanc to look like that now, because it's so much cooler. But, like, as far as it seems in the lore, a lot of characters are, like, in limbo because we don't know about them. So for the time being, because they don't write stories, they do not exist.
That's a take?
Well, Riot almost never... Oh, Jesus, that was a lot of damage from you.
Yeah.
Riot barely writes fiction anymore for their game. If they do. Characters aren't releasing with color stories anymore. The last one to release with a color story was Hwei.
Sniper Rabbit sees Fairy Sphere. Sniper Rabbit clicks.
Yeah, no, I'm just thinking about this too. So I'm just thinking back to the fact that, you know, like, it's not like Riot's history had the best grip on gripping storytelling, considering how, for example, old League lore just kind of exists.
I don't think he played League for its story, which is one of my main, like, it's one of the reasons why I don't condemn Arcane outright, per se, right? Because it's just like, well, they kind of just did a thing.
I think, well, so, like, the thing for me is...
Right side.
As much as I agree with that, you don't play League for its fucking story. I still like the story. And I get upset every time the lore just gets treated the way it does.
Yeah.
Just about to say, so, like, I'm sorry. I'm cutting you off when you're still going on your point. Please go on.
Yeah. So it's like this weird thing where it's like, I enjoyed Arcane for what it was when it was like its own kind of separate thing. And it was like, yeah, it's a what if. And I think the story was better when it was... Yeah, no, it was never canon originally. Season 1 was not canon. It was specifically stated to not be canon.
Darn it.
Like, that was there are interviews from back then where they're like, yeah, it's not canon. There are things I like from it that I think are more interesting. Orianna, for instance, I think is way more interesting in Arcane, even though we barely see her. You know?
Okay.
But, like, Also, it should have been 3 seasons. It should have been fucking 3 seasons.
Yeah, no, I was about to say, it's like, I'm not as divisive on my own takes when it comes to it or so, but I'm in agreement with everybody with how Season 2 was potentially worse just due to the fact of pacing issues. Because there's a lot on that side. So you saying, like, Jason Mel, for instance, just not existing as well. But there's also that huge part of, what's one big connection that got everybody going? Keiko and Jace all together. And they interacted once in Season 2. When Jace says, you have to stop them, you have to hold them off so I can stop Victor. And that's the one interaction they get the entire time in Season 2.
Also, hot take, Warwick, final version Warwick, like, after, when he gets all arcaned, is really bad.
Brother, what's like a 2016 World skin?
Yeah, just give him his fucking tail and wolf face. Just do it, because the skin looks so much better.
I mean, we're gonna have to leave it to the fan artists.
You took away Warwick's grip.
can't have crap in the Undercity.
They took my tail. I can't balance properly.
Can we get into this rotation?
Because I can't do that boss. I'm not allowed to fight on that boss.
Smile.
This one?
Yeah, there's just parts where I can't hit them.
You just press your secondary. Oh wait, you're not pressing your secondary.
Yep. I took I get the free secondaries every 10 times.
So unless you took whatever special, whatever assassin special that doesn't break vanish, you're still not doing much.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see.
Oh, there we go. I now have the one where it turns my special into a ranged attack.
Oh, well, that's decent enough too. And I don't need this defensive, so it's all levels for me. 8%.
Oh shit.
But when it comes to it, I want to go back to League on its storytelling side. It's the tragedy of MOBAs, I feel, to where you're not playing it for the story, but the thing is that it's a good engine for the story. As much as people talk about, like, old League lore, the fact is, the Summoners Institute, that forced everything into a big vacuum or so. Now that they're just kind of liminally existing, you can get snapshots. Yes, Mbis is dead, but for gameplay purposes, that's a snapshot of her right there. We got one big storyline that a lot of people always harken back to, especially when Riot Forge was around, was the Maid Seeker, Silas, and everything like that. He got his own darn-fledged game that, sought to, develop a decent bit of Demacia on its own side of things. That just kind of has been developing on its own through cinematics, like with Silas getting his Ferroyord side and whatever going on, to the Maid Seeker itself. And that never would have happened if not just for the world liminally existing one way or another. But that's where the pendulum teeters then, because it's wonderful that we get some developed League lore, but there's only enough strands to really get the pull on for some characters.
Yeah. Also, I hope they don't do Demacia for their next show.
I think it's probably gonna lean towards Demacia or Ionia, because you can just pull Noxus towards either direction.
I think a Noxus one would be more interesting.
Like Noxus in general, or?
Yeah, because there's a lot more like political drama in Noxus compared to the other settings.
There's that too. The big thing though is that, since for us, I say players, I actually don't know if y'all play League or not, or so.
I do.
The fact is that
I have been interested, but the person that I played with stopped playing.
Fair enough. I only played with a 5-stat myself, so there's that. But what I'm trying to say, from my own point, is that, we already knew, before, things came around canon, what Victor would be as soon as we heard his name is. Or, alright, there's gotta be something going on with Jace more in the future when it comes to it or so. The theories, or it's theories or so, but, it's fun to entertain, is the snapshot of the Ionian invasion of Noxus, or the Noxian invasion of Ionia. is a snapshot that people are going with for the potential theme. And not theme, set piece. Which could be big, because once again, that's another way to pull a familiar setting, or rather a familiar nation of Nazis in, while introducing new ways. While introducing new characters or so.
I think it would be interesting. The show I want to see, they'll probably not do, because it'd be weird for them to do, but I think it'd be cool, is a show based around Jax. Because Jax's current lore is the coolest shit ever.
I mean, past Jax was also pretty cool too, let's not deny that. Hey dude, you're OP, so can you just like nerf yourself? You got a chief.
Yeah, and you know what his current lore is?
Yes.
What is he doing? He's traveling the world to find people to help hold back the end of reality.
Mm-hmm. And he also likes fishing on his own free time, Smile.
What'd you say?
Oh, hold on. Let's not throw this out here. I keep stacking.
Yeah.
And just Jats, and also Jats fishing for memes. But also, yes, he's literally just, I am on a crusade to form an army to batter everything that's going to kill us. And then, also, once again, full chat and old war. Hey, you're too overpowered with everything. Use a lamp.
Well,
What? 4 seconds cooldown. That's still gonna be 5 seconds. There's no downside to Dragonhead for me, so that's still gonna be 5 seconds of CDR. But either way, like, we do know that stuff's gonna come along, considering how Riot's already said so about Fortiche with their nominal stake in it.
Yeah.
We'll just see. It's gonna be, you know, we can revisit this conversation in like 3 years.
I just want to see Mordekaiser.
Ooh.
I could see pull for Shadow Isle stuff, but...
Where's Noxus? Current Mord lore is he founded Noxus.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, I'm just... kind of drifting on my thoughts, because like once again, like, I keep teetering on this snapshot idea, because that is once again essentially what happened. I keep stacking so much, and I apologize because I am talking.
Yeah, Maxine Gilbert.
It's put it this way, he's basically the Lich King.
Like we haven't had enough of that. Join the line, buddy.
Yeah, but he's cooler.
I know.
He was a big warlord who died, and then he was like, wow, I was promised Valhalla, this ain't shit.
Not just shaking hands with itself. It's like having people die, but just coming back out of pure spite.
Well, yeah, no, so basically his lore is, LeBlanc's lore, she was part of the cult that took him down originally, and she's trying to prepare for his return. That's the whole purpose of the Black Rose.
Mm-hmm. Ah! A little too far out.
The Targon show could also be cool. One focused on Leona and Diana.
I could see, but I feel like Targon has always had the problem of just being Riot Games' least favorite child.
Yeah, but also Pantheon. Yummers.
I mean, okay, well, I think there's a lot of intrinsic personal bias right there. Once again, yeah, no, Targon, once again, continues to be Riot's least favorite major region in Runeterra. Sad.
No, Ishtal is.
That's newer. Targon's always been around for forever.
Oh, I know, I'm just making a joke.
I know, because then you could also just say the same thing to Shrima, but they're like, no, don't worry, we have, it's like Sivir's technically part of it now. That's a real big line that you're drawing. I drifted too fast into that. You literally saw that happen in real time. I literally had my own problem happen. And I talked about last run of having the right idea, but just being too fast for my own good.
Rough.
Okay,
Oh.
we're fine. We're fine.
Yeah, we're actually learning through it pretty fast, which is weird because like we don't actually have like that crazy a damage set.
I wouldn't say damage set, it's just, I wouldn't say it's just consistency.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of like high burst damage, but we're doing a lot of damage consistently.
Like, the most burst that we have is, like, I guess at the highest burst rate that's coming to right now would be me, because I have a supercharged primary that does 70% more, so that's already almost breaking 1k on its own, not counting whatever other mods. As you're seeing here, 979, which will already break 1k once I start leveling up here.
Eh, fair enough. Okay, levels. Who needs health?
Yeah, so...
Okay, Ash, Yeti. You
Two
didn't
health
wanna...
in a dream. 2 health in a dream.
You didn't wanna...
It's the whole way the pill keep, just hope for no violin. Oh, I was about to say, why am I not doing anything? My fingers were one key off on the keyboard. Oops.
Ruined King, though, is a really good game. Have you played that?
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't get to
recommend it.
ask earlier, though, but have you played Maid Seeker? So ask your opinion on it.
No, but I had a friend play it in stream and I watched.
Well, opinion on it, then.
It makes the Silas lore really confusing for people.
Yeah.
Because Silas in League proper is like very, very obviously villain coded. Which he shouldn't be, because he's like right.
But then it's just kind of like, I want to do I want to stay to my morals, but I have to be a figurehead? Come on, people.
I don't know. Being right does not predicate you from being a villain.
In the eyes of society, because we live in a society.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Demacia is a very mage-racist society. Classist, I guess, rather, not racist.
Yeah, to put it this way, D3, Demacia in the lore forces their mages to drink anti-mage rocks.
And by that, they mean
Wow, I
it's
see.
poison cement. And you are going to die from it.
Yeah, they make their mages drink poisoned cement and send them to concentration camps.
Mm.
The history of this, it's not too wild, was that previous royalty, you know, it didn't have the best time with mages, you kinda get it. So now they are absolutely just no magic. No magic.
It was basically, there was the big rune war that caused a lot of problems, which is like understandable. But the problem with that specifically is you're making your citizens drink poison cement.
Don't worry, guys, it's normalized. We're the good guys here.
Very 40k of them.
40k. There's a lot more you could talk about there.
That's just literally 40k behavior. Just like,
I feel like strongest voting of League War versus average 40k behavior. Also, I just realized all my voters are on cooldown thanks to the thing, because I forgot they all have cooldowns. Oh, you assassined into me!
there's a reason I'm like staying away from Yeti.
What? The
It
times
is-
I've drifted into you, that's just been my own fault, and I've admitted it. But that's just uncalled for. That's so uncouth.
It was such a good drive-by, though, you have to admit.
It was a drive-by. Was it a good one? Not for me.
But, I mean, like, League is a character I wish had more stuff about them. Fiddlesticks.
Fiddle is real cool, too.
Fiddle is the demon. He's the living manifestation of the concept of fear.
He's Scarecrow.
He's literally a scarecrow.
Yes. That's literally part of his kit. He can place down fate scarecrows and then just pretend to be one.
And there's a very good short horror story they did to tease his rework. Like anime, Terra and Demacia.
Yep.
Is so good. It's so good.
I'm gonna have to take this hit.
What are you doing?
I mean,
you
tried. No, they had a drive. They tried to use assassin privilege. They just screwed it up.
It was penance for the drive-by.
Goodness gracious. I don't feel any better about it, so I really don't know how much penance there is.
Except the penance.
I will not. There's a difference between penance and forced penance. There's a very, very big difference.
So, yeah.
Ain't no way.
Yeah, there's so much interesting. I mean, Aurelian Soul is cool too.
I mean, once again, from the YouTube comments, Blitztrain slows himself with E. Aurelian Soul throws the unborn star of a new galaxy at his opponents.
Who is Aurelian Soul? He's a dragon that makes stars. But he's not a god. Never forget that. He's not a god.
Oh, and he also got enslaved, too. Never forget.
By a little girl.
Oh.
And now he vows vengeance.
She's not actually a little girl. She's the celestial of the concept of the twilight of reality.
Anyway, watch it.
Lore is weird. Lore is weird.
I mean, you can just chalk Zoe up to anime watch it. I mean, if you just want to look at, just things, liminal things that exist, yordles. If we don't die, we just respawn at Vandal City. We're here.
Except when we do die, because Heimerdinger fucking dies. I deserve what's about to happen. I hit my thing too early.
Goodness.
Why didn't you just get closer to me?
I mean, you should have called that then, in that case. That's a communication issue.
I wasn't paying attention. That's what happened.
We have to drift in!
I have an obstacle.
Not a very good one.
Oh, the game is now PvP.
PvP mode enabled.
PvP mode enabled.
Goodness gracious. I'm so glad I had my own vanish as he kept drifting back into me.
I told you PvP mode was enabled.
Goodness gracious.
To default to trying to defend you guys just in case you all get DPS hungry. Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Okay, now
Shit,
that's
on
just
the wrong
bad on
side.
all of our parts here. What?
Alright. Enough of y'all bullshit.
This is absolutely the worst attack for us right now.
PvP.
Where am I at? Oh my god.
Yep, wait our turn, and I still got hit. Oh well, we're fine.
Mhm.
We are fine.
Oh, I did maintain 1,000 DPS after all. Huh. Alright, fair enough. It didn't feel like it. It didn't have any big numbers. It was just like, we ball. I guess Crane Katana, Shrine Maiden, Black Wasaka would do that, I guess.
Yeah.
Didn't really have a synergy. It was just lots of, oh look, neat thing.
What?
Oh look, neat thing. Oh
Kizashi?
look, neat thing.
I mean, yeah, I was supposed to say, I just had premium cooldowns at all times, so that was just kind of nice for me.
Yeah, I didn't get shit.